All right, so it's the day you've been dreaming of. You actually get to hold your book in your hand. You've received your author copies. Now what? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing my passion for creating and writing with you here every week. Before I get started on today's topic, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified every week when I release new videos on self-publishing and making a career out of being an author. Today we're going to talk about author copies. So how do you order them? What do you need to do with them? And once they arrive, what do you do? So the most exciting part of writing really is that moment when you get to hold your book in your hands, right? It's surreal. You've thought about it, you've worked on it, you've edited it, and up until then your stories only existed in your mind, right? But now you have this physical book. It's a very, very cool moment. So here are my top tips for you as you get ready to hold that book. So the first thing you need to do before you order is how many you're going to need and when do you need them by. So shipping options will vary based on the speed that you select. With Ingram Spark, you set both the printing fulfillment speed, how quick they print the books, as well as the shipping speed. I've ordered my author copies in advance from Ingram Spark because they let me do a pre-order on my print books, which KDP doesn't. Also, by the time Amazon KDP started to offer author copies instead of just the proof copies with the proof ribbon, I had already moved to the joint Ingram Spark KDP system. When my third book came out, it was my first print book because the first two were ebook only at the time. I ended up having to pay full retail price from Amazon to get a box of those books. That was not cool. But I needed them, so super glad that they have the author copy option now. If you only have your print book with KDP, you need to be very careful about whether you're ordering the proof copy or an author copy. Proof, you should only need one of those, and it will have a band around it that says proof, not for resale. Your author copies, however, will not have this. This is the one that you want for any of your photos, if you're doing book signings, if there's anybody you're giving a gift copy to, potentially reselling at book signing events, book events, and things like that. So with that, Amazon sells your book to you at cost when you order the author copies, and it won't mess with your rankings. So in addition to knowing how you're going to receive them, how many do you need of the author copies, not proof copies? You need to know that exact number before you put in the order because you don't want to have to pay shipping twice. So if you plan to attend book fairs and conferences with your book, you can order a lot. But for the first batch, I would recommend seeing how many can fit into one carton and ordering that amount. Ingram Spark shows you that when you're ordering how many will fit into a carton. So I usually just go with one carton unless I know I specifically need more, and then I get two. If you don't have preliminary sales or any hype, you should at the very least order one copy for yourself that you can take photos with and use for marketing. You'll need one copy for the Library of Congress because they granted you an LCCN. Part of that, receiving that free number, is that you do have to send them a physical copy of the book, and that's the bare minimum. So it's just two copies. I always find that it's nice to provide a copy to your designer and your editor, so now you're up to four. It's a nice thank you, and then they can also keep that in their portfolio, their catalog. I try not to keep too much inventory on hand. You can see on my bookshelf I have a little bit. I err on the side of having less, and then I can always order more instead of keeping a lot of inventory around that may not go anywhere. So I try to, keep things moving here. So once you make the order, you should receive an estimate on when the books will arrive. This is when you can make some time to plan for what photos you're going to take when the books arrive. This is very important. You don't get this moment back. If you get the shipping updates and you see the books will be delivered this afternoon, make sure you're showered and your hair is nice. And if you arrive back from the gym all sweaty because you just crushed a workout, you see the books on the doorstop, don't open them until you shower and you're ready. Ask a friend or family member to take a photo of you opening the box. It's really important because it's a big moment for you. You want to document this. It's exciting for you, preserve the memory, but also know that it helps support your author platform. That's another thing that's good with that. So now the box is open. You've taken your photo, yay. So you have your initial reaction. The photo is always going to be positive, right? Positive, positive. Once you're no longer recording, this is the time to count that you've received the correct number of books. that they're all in good condition. This happened to me when I did a big order of books. I was short 2 books, and also some of them had boot prints on them. In hindsight, it's easy to say, clearly the company made good and they sent me my missing copies and they replaced the damaged copies. It was fine. In that moment, I was already really emotional from getting to see and hold my book for the first time. And then there were boot prints on that. So if somebody stepped on my book, I was like, what is going on here? It's easy to get emotional, but just take that deep breath. It'll get solved. What I had to end up doing is, I took the photo, smile, 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 counted the books they're missing, there's boot prints, oh my gosh, freaking out. I sent in a customer service ticket and the company investigated it and resolved it. It took a week, but the replacement books arrived. Everything was fine, and thankfully I was just getting them for promotional purposes and got them well ahead of the release date for the people that they had to be sent to. So I wasn't scrambling like I was going to an event and they were messed up for the event. So just to recap, when you are planning to order your author copies, you need to make sure you are getting author copies, not proofs. You need to know how many you need. You need to pay attention to the delivery status and the speed of your shipping. You take your photo, and then you need to count and quality check them. Those are the 5 biggest tips that I can give you right now for making sure that you receive your author copies and all goes to plan. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and comment below. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, and that way you'll receive updates from YouTube every time I release a new video. Now you can get back to writing your book.